Join the conversation on the most relevant issues affecting the workplace, as well as the human resource patterns being positioned to solve them on The Office. Get notifications on available job listings and advice on how to apply from featured experts in the industry every Thursday from 4:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. Only on Lagos Talks 91.3.
Experiencing rapid and exponential bouts of change. Technologies have become more disruptive. The external market is more agile. HR is charged with shaping a progressive organization and
Hello, good afternoon.
3,000 professionals to gain insights into cutting-edge solutions to help navigate the changing
Good afternoon, can you hear me?
Sustainable HR practices that aid business and national development at the 55th International Conference.
Hello, good evening, can you hear me?
Oh, sorry, I can hear you. Good evening.
Good evening. We'll be starting.
All right, it's fine.
To the 16th, 2023. Venue, International Conference Center, Abuja. Featuring engaging learning sessions, experience sharing by thought leaders, showcase of latest HR trends and tools, networking opportunities, and gala and awards night. To register, visit www.cipmnigeria.org/conference. For inquiries, call 0700-123-7555 or email conference@cipmnigeria.org. CIPM, we deliver value through people. Are you passionate about human resources? Do you want to make a career switch to HR? Now is the time to take that step towards becoming a recognized and respected HR professional. Join the CIPM through the examination route. Book your seat at the next diet, which holds September 15th and 16th, 2023, and can be written from anywhere in the world using a computer. Registration ends September 3rd, 2023. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to enhance your HR career. Visit www.cipmnigeria.org to register. For inquiries, call 0700-123-7555 or email exams@cipmnigeria.org. CIPM, we deliver value through people.
Join the conversation on the most relevant issues affecting the workplace, as well as the human resource patterns being positioned to solve them on The Office. Get notifications on available job listings and advice on how to apply from featured experts in the industry every Thursday from 4:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. Only on Lagos Talks 91.3.
All right, welcome. It is The Office on Lagos Talks 91.3 FM. My name is Michelle Ago. Now, as you know, this is probably brought to you by the Chartered Institute of Personal Management and Lagos Talks 91.3 FM. And I'll be talking about talent management today, the why and the how. I'm sure you've heard about talent management before, but today we're going to break it down. You're going to understand what talent management means in a workspace and how talent can be identified. My guest today is an expert. We always bring you experts, and my guest is no different. She is a senior HR executive with broad experience in HR management in general, with over 25 years of practice. She's currently the general managing human resource and administration manager for Mutual Benefit Assurance PLC. Now, before Mutual, she had the following position. She was a divisional head of human capital management for Heritage Bank. She was also the group chief human capital officer for InterSwitch Limited. She was the general manager, HR and admin for Custodian and Allied Insurance PLC. General Manager, Human Capital and Admin for Nigerian Aviation Handling Company Limited. She was the Senior Manager, Talent and Development for GlaxoSmithKline PLC. Also the Manager, Training for Sterling Bank PLC. Also the Human Resource Consultant for PricewaterhouseCoopers. She is a member of the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria. In addition to practicing human resources, she's also a trainer and a certified life and career coach. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest today is Mrs. Abike Wesey, MCIPM, the current General Manager, HR and Admin for Mutual Benefit Assurance PLC. Welcome to the conversation, ma'am. This is the office. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure that you could join us today. There's so much to learn about you, and we're so happy that you can join us. And you are the best person for us to speak to as regards talent management. I mean, your portfolio speaks for itself. We all know these companies, they don't need any form of introduction. And it's great to see that you've held different managerial positions across these different companies. And with you, we'll be talking about talent management. So I guess our first question today will be, who and what is a talent in a workspace? And how can talents be truly identified? Because we understand that in a workspace, the goal for HR professionals is to attract the best of talents. However, with our topic today, I don't know, but I'm beginning to perceive that there are talents amongst other talents. So who and what is a talent in a workspace?
Thank you so much. So a talent is an employee who consistently performs and have potential to be able to drive organizational goal. The key word here is consistently. So you're not just a talent because you performed well last year. You must have consistently performed over the years, and you must have potential to become a future leader for you to be considered as a talent. And how can a talent be identified? You know, businesses face a lot of uncertainties. So businesses try to focus on what they know about, and that is how to manage talent. So talents are identified by picking staff who have consistently met their performance targets. 1, 2, they have potentials to deliver more. And 3, they have the right attitude, so they can be developed to become future leaders. That's how talents are identified.
All right, thank you. Now, why is talent management so important in a workspace?
Talent management is so critical. It must be part of the strategy of an organization. Big companies like GlaxoSmithKline, like Guinness, like Nestle, they have stood the test of time, and they've been around for centuries because they manage talent. So talent management must be part of the strategy. It must be part of the corporate structure of an organization. It's not just about doing recruitment and training. The ultimate aim of talent management is to develop a pool of highly talented workforce that will remain with the organization in the long term. So it must be deliberate and intentional.
So when it comes to HR professionals, how can they adequately manage their workspace talents and retain them? Because I think that's the goal. Yeah,
the goal is retention. HR is the custodian of the process. So for HR to be able to adequately manage talent agenda must be part of HR strategy. HR must consistently implement best practice. Even though we're in a local environment, but talents are looking for best practice. HR must continuously attract and retain these best people, maybe by having various employee engagement initiatives to be able to encourage staff, so that they can continue to be motivated. HR, again, must develop clear career path. Every talent wants to see where they can get to in the next 2 or 3 or 5 years. And if they can't see it, they're not going to stay. Then there must be an objective performance management system. If I have done well, is there a system where I will be evaluated and be rewarded accordingly? And also, talent wants to be developed. You must have plan to develop my career. Development training must continue to go on, and also HR must ensure that these talents are well mentored so they can stay with the organization.
Right. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. So what is the role of line managers in talent management? Because we've talked about the HR role, but what about line managers? Do they in any way play any role as regards managing talent in the workspace, especially those that are under the supervision?
Yeah, thank you. Line managers are the true owners of talent. They are the custodian of talent. HR only creates the framework and ensure they deliver consistently across the company and monitor. But line managers are the ones that will identify the talent. They will be the ones to develop the talent. They coach the talent. They assign projects to the talent. They mentor the talent and they evaluate the talent. So HR just coordinate the process. And because of the critical role line managers play, line managers needs to be trained on how to play this role so they can play it in a more meaningful and effective way.
All right. So do you think there should be a balance such that organizations do not only focus on growing already talented employees, but also developing those that may be struggling? Because it seems sometimes when it comes to the workspace, upon talent identification and planned retention for talents like that, some other people are not being nurtured to grow to their fullest of potential. I want to believe at the start of them joining the organization, the HR managers had seen potential in these individuals. They had identified them for something great. And upon joining the company, of course, like we've clarified here, there are talents amongst talents, people with the right attitude, people who have potential, and people who have consistently put in that work, right? But there are others within the organization who might have the same potential, have a great attitude, but might not be consistent for whatever reason. Is there some sort of balance so that people like that are also developed to become future leaders, or their talents being nurtured into something else, something that blooms and grows within the organization?
Thank you so much. So typically you have talents in organizations are like from 10 to 20%. So you don't want to just concentrate on 20%. You need the remaining 80% to be able to drive organizational growth. So companies or businesses must balance this. You identify someone who was a talent last year may not be in the talent pool this year. So you ensure that you continuously encourage others so they can be part of the talent pool. So you don't just focus on the few high potentials or talent that you have, you develop everybody. And out of the remaining 80%, some of them from time to time, they go into the talent pool. So it's actually a fluid pool. People come in and go out. So if your performance reduces, you get out of the pool and another new batch of employees will come in.
All right, thank you. We will go on a quick break, but we'll be right back. And when we come back, we'll talk more about talent management and possibly open up the phone lines to get questions and thoughts and those who would love to give their submission on the subject today. We're discussing talent management, the why and the how. And this is The Office. It's Lagos Talks 91.3. Stay with us.
Experiencing rapid and exponential bouts of change. Technologies have become more disruptive. The external market is more agile. HR is charged with shaping a progressive organization and nation. Join over 3,000 professionals to gain insights into cutting-edge solutions to help navigate the changing times and build sustainable HR practices that aid business and national development at the 55th International Conference and Exhibition and Emerald Jubilee Celebration of the Chartered Institute of Personal Management of Nigeria. Theme: Sustainable HR, Business and National Development. Date: November 13th to the 16th, 2023. Venue: International Conference Center, Abuja. Featuring engaging learning sessions, experience sharing by thought leaders, showcase of latest HR trends and tools, networking opportunities, and gala and awards nights. To register, visit www.cipmnigeria.org/conference. For inquiries, call 0700-123-7555 or email conference@cipmnigeria.org. CIPM, we deliver value through people. Are you passionate about human resources? Do you want to make a career switch to HR? Now is the time to take that step towards becoming a recognized and respected HR professional. Join the CIPM through the examination route. Book your seat at the Next Diet, which holds September 15th and 16th, 2023, and can be written from anywhere in the world using a computer. Registration ends September 3rd, 2023. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to enhance your HR career. Visit www.cipmnigeria.org to register. For inquiries, call 0700-123-7555 or email exams@cipmnigeria.org. CIPM, we deliver value through people.
Join the conversation on the most relevant issues affecting the workplace, as well as the human resource patterns being positioned to solve them on The Office. Get notifications on available job listings and advice on how to apply from featured experts in the industry every Thursday from 4:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. Only on Lagos Talks 91.3.
Welcome back to The Office. This is 91.3 Lagos Talks. My name is Michelle Ago. Joining me today is Mrs. Abike Wesey, MCIPM, the General Manager, HR and Admin, Mutual Benefit Assurance, PLC. And today we are discussing talent management, the why and the how. Welcome back to The Office, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank
Yes.
you.
Now, we've learned so much about talent management. We understand what talent is because sometimes people do not understand what talent means, let alone talent management. And if there's something I've learned today or a take home for me, it's number one, being consistent. That's what makes you a talent. Also, having the right attitude, very, very important. And also having great potentials to grow, having great potentials to keep at what you're doing and continue to add value. And I think that is what talent means. And to manage talent basically means to nurture and to learn ways of retaining this talent within the workspace. And I love that we also talked about those who might be struggling as well and also trying to grow them. We've also learned that a huge part of talent management lies on line managers and not just HR professionals. However, they may create the framework, like you said, but line managers play a major role into talent retention and growing this talent. So thank you so much for sharing that with us so far. Just a quick recap on what we learned earlier before the break. But going further, does proper talent management have an impact on retention? If yes, how does it really impact retention?
Thank you. Like I said before, the aim of talent management is to develop a pool of highly talented workforce that will remain with the organization for a long term. So the essence is retention. The reason why you're managing them is because you need them for the future of the business. So proper talent management is critical for high level of retention in organizations.
Okay. All right. Now, still on talent management, you talked about trainings and development and identifying their strength, capitalizing on it, or using it to the growth of the company. But are there other ways to also retain talents beyond trainings that we can also explore and talk about? Because there are some companies that have put the right training mechanisms in place, but they still struggle because of this whole JAPA thing. People are leaving the country, and these are talents that are leaving the workforce, and it's draining our economy. It's draining different organizations. Are there other ways that they can also manage talents to keep them beyond trainings and other other ways that you've mentioned? Are there new ways that this can happen?
So the culture of the organization is critical. It must be positive if you want to retain. You should have a culture that attracts people, and you should have a positive onboarding when new staff join an organization. Else you may start losing them from their first day if they don't feel welcome, or maybe they join, there are no tools for them to work, and they have a culture that intimidates people, and you're not allowed to express your opinion. Your creativity is not, you're not allowed to be creative or innovative. They're going to go. And like I said, if you don't challenge these talents, they want to be challenged. They don't just want to do brick and mortar work. So if you're not challenging them, they are going to go. JAPA syndrome, unfortunately, it has come to stay. But at times you can even have people who had JAPA'd and are thinking of JAPA'da, so they can talk to some of the staff for them to be able to see that developed world is not as rosy as we look at it, and it's even more difficult, to save or to be able to keep your head up in developed world, because wherever you go to, you're going to be a second-class citizen. So you need positive culture. You need to encourage them to stay. And there are things they need to say. For HR practitioners, we have to continue to engage the employees, especially the younger generation. They want to be engaged. You need to have employee engagement initiatives is attractive to them, for you to be able to retain them, because that's the way they will be motivated to want to stay with the company. Compensation is critical.
Okay.
Talent wants to be well compensated. If they're not well compensated, they will definitely look for another organization or another opportunity where they will feel they are well remunerated. So that's critical. So from time to time, organizations must continue to do survey. What's our competition paying? And what can we do? How can we drive our staff? And how can we pay more to be able to ensure that the competition don't poach our staff? So that's critical. Like I said, implementing best practice. It may be a local organization, but what kind of practice do you have in place? That also will ensure high level of retention of talent.
Right, thank you. Any final words before we wrap it up?
Okay, so any organization that does not have a systematic way of managing talent cannot win the war for talent. Any company that wants to stand the test of time, you must have a way you identify talent right from when they join as graduate trainee. You must be able to identify them. Or for people in mid-careers, those are going to be the leaders of the business tomorrow. So if you're not deliberate and intentional about having a systematic way to identify and develop and retain talent, then the organization is joking. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us today. That's the size of the show. This is The Office. It's Lagos Talks 91.3. We do this every Thursday from 7:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. And my guest today is none other than Miss Abike Wesey, MCIPM, the General Manager, HR and Admin, Mutual Benefit Assurance PLC, and she was our guest today on The Office. Join us next week, Thursday. You never know who's coming to speak to us, but what I can assure you is the great knowledgeable conversations that we have is usually very impactful, and I cannot wait for you to join us next week. Have a beautiful evening.
Thank you for having me.
Bye. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, bye.